let's talk about all of the books that I bought this year and whether I've read them or not. Let's start. I didn't even say welcome to More Wallflower, but you know where you are. Alright, let's go in no particular order, and I'm just gonna go pretty quickly because we have a total of 21 books here, which are the ones that I physically bought this year. So let's start. First one is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I bought this to read along with my cousin and Claudia, and I have, in fact, read it all. It's done. So, one out of the list. Then we have Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman, and this was actually the first book I bought this year, and I have also read this. So far we're going one for one, you know? Very, very good. Of Women in Salt by Gabriela Garcia. This was for Minder, for one of the 12 initial challenges, and as you can see by the amount of tabs on this bad boy, I have read this as well, and I really enjoy this. So, another one for the pile. Now we're getting into territory in which I haven't read the books. So, I got Sally Rooney's new book called Intermezzo, and I bought this very recently. I'm excited to read it, but I haven't got to it yet. Maybe next year will be the one. Oh, I should make a pile of books I read and books I haven't read. I'll do this front pile, the ones I've read, so it's easier for us to count at the end. So we can do a little compare and contrast. I know you can see them, but you gotta believe, you can see the non-read pile there. Then, I got this book from a charity shop quite recently as well, and it is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, and I also haven't read this. We'll probably get to it next year. There we go, another one. Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. As you can see by the tabs and by how much I've talked about this book on my main channel, I loved it and I have read it, and I am planning on reading all of her other books next year as well. So there you go, Ariadne, red. Can you start seeing the pile of reds? No, you can't. Not yet. Should I do a bit like... You'll see it eventually. Then we have Crying in the Age Mart by Michelle Zauner, and I got this for the Crimea book series as well as Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, and I haven't read this yet, but I will read it next year for sure. Another one for the no pile. In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. We read this for one of the 12 initial challenges for Minder, and I have completed it as well. I think I gave this 4 stars, I don't remember. There we go. Red. You can start to see my red pile. There we go. Now we're talking. What's your name? You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen McManus. So I bought this recently at a secondhand store as well, and I haven't gotten to it yet. But I will probably do it next year if I'm in a reading slump. Most definitely. These are good for reading slumps. Okay, next. Danielle Steele's The Ball at Versailles. I haven't finished it, but I am reading it. This doesn't accurately show where I am because I'm also listening to this on audiobook, so I am probably more around this mark, I would say. I'm like 70% done with this, so I'm gonna put this on the red pile because I will finish this in the next couple of days. And so far is okay, I'm enjoying it, although the writing is questionable, but you'll hear more about it on my main channel, I'm sure. So that goes on the red pile. There we go. The Christmas, no wait, that's not it. The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rush. I got this also very, very recently. I wasn't sure whether to read it for Halloween or Christmas, but I have been told it has more Christmas vibes than Halloween vibes, so I will be reading this probably next Christmas. I don't think I'll have time for it this Christmas, so there we go. Unread. The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. I was supposed to read this 2 months ago. Still haven't gotten the chance to get to it, so... But I'll get to it at some point. I will make a video just catching up with Furies, and you'll see me read this by then. But until then, it stays on the unread pile, sadly. Then we got The Girl with No Soul. Similarly to the other one, I was supposed to have read this ages ago. I read 2 chapters and started annotating. You can even see I still have my annotation and my marker inside it, but I didn't have the time to continue. I do want to get to it, and I will get to it when I do my Furies catching up video. So until then, it will stay on my unread pile. Next one we have is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I read this for a Minder challenge that I didn't end up finishing on time for the challenge, but I did finish this book and I did really enjoy it. I think I give it 4.5. So there we go. I read that one. And then we are getting into the territory of I haven't read anything else. So this is gonna be fun. So we have Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I got this for one of the 12 initial Minder challenges, and this will be read this year. I will be reading this in December. So technically now it goes to the unread pile, but it will go on the read pile by the end of the year. Or at least that's the goal for it. So there you go. Also very, very floppy. They're starting to make floppy books in the UK much more, which I'm happy about. Very chuffed about that. Then we got, oh, I should have put this one on the bottom. I got Beasts, what is it called? Beasts and Beauty, Dangerous Tales by Soman Chainani. I got this at a charity shop as well, and I really, really want to get to it because I love this author, but until then, it will stay on my red pile. Another charity shop find, Women on the Edge of Time by I was gonna read this as the name of the author, that's not it. Marge Piercy. And I'm very, very curious about this, especially because the book came annotated by whoever had it before, and it's been compared to Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, but like fantasy. So I'm very, very curious to get to this, and we'll probably read it sometime next year for Furies. Unread. Oh, I need to start like dividing the piles, making a second unread pile because they will fall otherwise. Let's finish all of the secondhand finds. So this was also a secondhand find. V. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. We will read this at some point, probably next year for Furies as well, or something like that. I will try to read this next year at least. At least that's the plan. And yeah, not read yet, so off you go. Then we have the third book in the Caraval trilogy, Finale, by Stephanie Garber, and this is also not read yet. I bought this recently, but I haven't read the second book yet, so I need to get the second book, and then I can read this one. And the idea is that Claudia and I are gonna do a read-along of the entire Caraval series. I think we're planning to do like one of those 24-hour challenges, but the one where you actually stop the timer to go like sleep and eat and be an actual like functional human being, you know? So look forward to that. I think that will be coming to the main channel at some point. Maybe next year, maybe 2026, who knows, who knows. I guess we'll see. It will depend on our availability. Then we're getting to the final two. These are very, very recent purchases. I got them this weekend, as you would have seen on my Christmas shopping haul. So this is The Maidens by Alex something. Still don't know how to pronounce his name, but there you go. His or hers? I don't know. Oh, it is a dude. It is a dude. There is his face. Yeah, I haven't read this, but plan to read this year still, actually. I want to read this in December, so this one's coming with me to Portugal. I'm actually gonna have to take a lot of books with me to Portugal, which is gonna be very challenging. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. There might have to be some that stay behind, but hopefully that's not gonna happen. We will see. We shall see. And then finally, The Sacred History by Donna Tartt. This is a chunky one, and I also haven't gotten to this, but I will most definitely get to this during December, at least that's the plan. So read this in December and read The Maidens in December as well as Babel, that I already have in Portugal, by the way. So don't need to take that one with me. Glad for that. Very, very glad. And those are all of the books that I bought this year. Let's see, so I got 21 books in total. And from the 21, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books in total. Those are all the books that I got and that I read. How do you think I did? I honestly think that's not terrible. I didn't plan to buy this many books this year, but to be fair, when I talked about how many books I wanted to get this year, I was unemployed. So now I have a stable job, so I can actually buy things. It would be fun for me to calculate how much money I actually spent with these. It is difficult to calculate because a few of them I got in charity shops, a few on supermarket, and the others from Waterstones. Let me quickly try and see how much it might have been. I've divided them into piles. The smallest pile here, it has 3 books, and these were the ones that I bought at the supermarket. So these were probably around £5 each, probably a bit more for Intermezzo because it's a hardback. So I would say maybe £8-9 for this one. I don't really remember. So let's say 5 plus 5, 10, and the 8 of this, so £18 from the supermarket pile. And then this huge pile over here is the Waterstones pile, or bookshop. This one wasn't necessarily Waterstones, this was from Heifers, but Waterstones does own Heifers now, so technically that counts. And pretty much all of their paperbacks are £10 each. So if we count here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's £100 right there. That's painful, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be less than that because a few of them are £9, and I also have the discount for having the Waterstones card, so it will be less. But for now, we have, let's calculate it as 100. So 100 plus 18, £118. And then here we have the pile of charity shop finds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books in this pile. And these really depend. They can vary from £5 to £1. So I know this one was 5 and I know this one was 3. For the other ones will count as £2, even though that's probably not correct, but we will count it as £2 because I don't actually remember. So let's see, 5 plus 3, that's 8, then £2, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20? Did I do that right? I don't know. So 20 plus 18, that's 38, plus 100, £138 is how much money I spent this year in books. Which is quite a lot, but not terrible? How do I justify my purchases? I don't know. But if we think about it per month, 138 divided by 12 will be 10-ish pounds a month. Maybe a bit more, £12 or something. So that's not terrible, right? 13 pounds a month. This is me trying to justify my consumerist choices, Anyways, that's gonna be the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!